Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. It is my hope and prayer that this video finds you well. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your continued support. Now, William Samoei Ruto rushed to Nyanza against the backdrop of very many bombshells in this government. This meeting is coming at the right time for him because he's just right from China, where he secured loans that he doesn't want to be mentioned. He says this is a private-public partnership. But the truth is, he secured some loans, and part of that loan is going to extend the railway from Naivasha through Kisumu, I think, to Malaba. And this is good news to the people of Nyanza. And they don't want to listen to anyone questioning the loans. They don't want anyone questioning the ballooning of the loans, and they are saying loans have been taken before. Why is it that this time that developments are being taken to Nyanza, people are complaining? The truth is, what people are asking is that we use the loans prudently, so that people, even as taxpayers, repay the loans, they can get value for it. Number two, the other truth is that Ruto himself promised that they inherited a dilapidated economy, and they had promised that when you realize that you're in a hole, you stop digging. So people are only asking what they had promised. They had promised they would not take loans. With that as it may, several leaders were there. I saw Oburu Odinga, the Senate of Siaya. I saw the current chair of the Budget and Appropriation Committee, Samuel Atandi, who took over from Ndindi Nyoro. Junet was there. And this meeting is also coming against the backdrop of yesterday's heated debate about the death of Ngondowere. And yesterday they were fuming with fury and breathing fire that they are not engaged this government to be killed. So I expected that when those leaders meet today with William Ruto, they were going to confront William Ruto about the same. But you will not believe it, they were showering William Ruto with praises about developments that William Ruto has initiated in Nyanza. Several people spoke. They attacked James Orengo. They attacked several leaders. But there's this particular speech that caught my attention. That is the speech of the minority leader, Junet Mohammed. And in that speech, I was listening because Junet is one of the people who was there during Ngondowere's visit there. And they were saying that they will not accept a government that is trying to kill or sabotage the murder of their leaders. But when Junet Mohammed took up the podium, his speech was concentrated on attack. He was attacking Rigathi Gachagua, he was attacking Uhuru Kenyatta, he was attacking Ndindi Nyoro, he was attacking Rigathi and the group, the opposition leaders. And you listen to that. Then what caught my attention is that Junet Mohammed is revealing to us perhaps something that we've already known, that over the years, they have been using the youth to give them political strength to get to a handshake. And you may think I'm exaggerating. I want you to listen to this speech. Then you tell me what you make out of it. I could be wrong, but the interpretation of that speech after listening to it, you'll agree with me that he has revealed to the nation that all along they use the youths so that they can get to governments. Before we watch the video, allow me to request you to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell. Allow me to request you to like and share our videos. Kindly listen to Junet Mohammed.
Your Excellency, hii county yetu ni county ambaye umejaribu sasa the last 1 year kuhakikisha ya kwamba tupate maendeleo. Kwa sababu this is your second time that you have decided to come to this constituency, especially since you became president. The last time we saw a president in this constituency, Your Excellency, was Kibaki. He came here one day, I don't know, there was a problem with Migingo, I think, akapitia tu, tukakula lunch hapa na ikakuishia namna hiyo. But hatukuona president mara nyingine. President Uhuru akakuja hapa, tukavurutana kidogo hapa, viatu ikatupwa, ikaenda namna hiyo hiyo pia, tukamalizana namna hiyo. But now you have decided to make Migori as part of the counties that you visit regularly. We are very grateful for that. Your Excellency, this country can develop only when people share things equally, when there is equity. The problem that we are suffering from this country nowadays are people who have become clever all of a sudden. Watu ambao wamerofuka sasa. Saa hii tunataka kuleta maendeleo area yetu, tunataka budget tusaidiwe ya kutengeneza barabara, kutengeneza maji, kutengeneza stima. Mimi nasikia kwa bunge former chairman ya budget, kabla Batandi hajakuwa chairman, anaongea. Anasema, oh, our debt ratio, debt to GDP is very high. We don't have money now. Wakati yeye alikuwa chairman ya budget, there was no stories like that. Alikuwa anaweka kila kitu pali moja. This country has been borrowing 50 years. For the last 50 years, this country has been borrowing to develop one region. Na sisi yote tunalipa hiyo deni. Watu wanalipa hapa ushuru, watu wa Migori pia. Hiyo ushuru ikorogotwa inalipa deni ambayo inasaidia area moja ama huko chini. Ama ni juu. Sijui hata ni juu ama chini. Saa hii ndio sasa sisi tumekuja, tunasema barabara yetu ni mbaya, barabara yetu itengenezwe, na nimeona utazungumza wewe mwenyewe hapa. You have captured all the roads we proposed to you in the budget of 2025-2026. Sitaki kusema hiyo ni budget yako. Lakini ile kitu imenishangaza, former chairman ya budget sasa anakuja anasema GDP ratio to debt ratio. Mimi sitaki kusikia hiyo maneno. I don't want to know GDP, I don't want to know debt ratios. Mimi nataka barabara hapa Migori. Hiyo maneno pia story peleka palingine. Your Excellency, hii nchi can only become one and cohesive when everyone gets their fair share. We don't want to take anybody's share the way Dr. Buru said one time. We want to take our own share. Hata kama ni 0.1%, hiyo ndio share yetu. Na zamani unakumbuka mtu ya shares alikuwa ametenga sisi. Mimi nashangaa. Sasa hii nimeona picha nyingine last week. Watu wamepiga picha wanasema ati audacity of hope, new dawn. Sasa Rigathi Gachagua ndio new dawn in Kenya. Jamani bana. Unajua saa ingine mimi nataka hata Yesu arudi haraka. Sasa ati wanapiga picha ati audacity of hope, ati new dawn. Nikaangalia picha namna hii, naona Martha Karua, naona Rigathi Gachagua, naona Mukisa Kitui, naona inaitwa nani ile mwingine ile Kiriso Malwa, no Eugene wa Malwa. Naona watu tumetembea nao miaka mingi mpaka tukanyoroshwa tukalia pamoja ati new hope, new dawn. Mimi unajua sasa tangu mzee Ojwanga kufe, vitimbi sasa imeenda kwa wanasiasa. Sasa hii ni vitimbi sasa hii. Your Excellency, the country is more serious than those jokes. Very serious. So Your Excellency, nimesikia tajusi former president anasema ati kulikuwa na Moi, hakukuwa anaogopa vijana, kulikuwa na Kibaki, kuna wengine sasa hata yeye aliogopa vijana. Ndio maana alifanya handshake 2017. Asidanganya watu. Watu walipigana hapo, tulitoka airport. Tulikaribisha baba kutoka airport. Tukapita airport, tukapita Mombasa Road, tukapita Landis Road. Watu walipigwa hapo, watu walikula risasi, watu wetu walikufa sana. Tusirudishwe nyuma kukumbuka vitu zingine. Ndio maana akatafuta baba kufanya handshake. Sasa anasema yeye mwenyewe alikuwa anaogopa watu sisi kama kuku na ogwa. So Your Excellency, sisi hatutaki maneno hiyo. Sasa Kenya imesonga mbele. We never thought we are going to have our people running the treasury like Mbadi, Opiyo Wandayi running energy, PS is interior. Now you have really made sure that this part of the country has the space to help their people through your leadership, Your Excellency. So an ODM as a party will support you in the 10 agenda that we have agreed upon. We will support all the your legislative agenda in parliament to make sure that the lives of this, the people of this country's lives have changed. And we are not trying to sideline or to segregate any part of the country. If you look at the cabinet today, it has everyone from Kenya, from northern Kenya to western Kenya to Nyanza to Mount Kenya to Nairobi. Everybody is in the cabinet. The people who are complaining are the people who don't want others to be there. Wanataka watu wakae wafungiwe nje. Mnakubali tufungiwe nje?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you'll realize that one of the places that William Ruto will find reprieve is in Nyanza, because William Ruto is unwanted in almost all the four corners of this country. He's under siege. His countenance, whenever he's talking, is full of sadness. He's trying to fake a smile, but behind that facade lies a very worried man. So when he is in Nyanza, he feels a little bit protected and he's got a shield because leaders there are showering him with praises. You know, if there is something that most of the Kenyan leaders would want, are people who are showering them with praises. Tukufu rais, watu wanakupenda. They don't want people who face them and tell them, Mr. King, you are naked. They want leaders who will tell them, you are dressed in your Sunday best. So that speech was full of showering him with the praises. Of course, showering with praises, mentioning developments, and of course the dockets that William Ruto gave them. Now, that speech fell short of what we expected. I expected that Junet Mohammed would ask the question of Omondowere. Yesterday, they were making a lot of noise, and I told you, be careful of leaders. They know how to manage anger, to how to manage the psychology of the people. They were managing the psychology of the supporters there. We will not rest. We will not allow. Today, the same man who is the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces, the man they accuse, is the man who was there, and they are showering him with praises. I don't know why Junet keeps on attacking. I know they had a beef with Wamunyoro, but I could be wrong, but Rigathi Gachagua no longer attacks ODM. He no longer attacks Raila or the people, those leaders. He doesn't do that. Rigathi has a problem with William Ruto. And I don't know why Junet is getting into this trap of trying to pick up a war that is not his. It's not their war. Hii ni uchokozi. I don't know why he's attacking. And then he talks about that team, the opposition team. Let me tell you, it only shows that they are scared when you see him talk about that group that is galvanizing support to end Ruto's leadership in 2027. And then, I don't know, he's also attacking Uhuru Kenyatta. The last time I checked, Uhuru has got no problem with Raila or the ODM. And I wonder why Junet Mohammed is doing this. But ladies and gentlemen, he's talking about that budget. The Finance Bill 2025 is around the corner. And I remember Junet Mohammed was saying that we stop speculations. And he's saying that when Ndindi Nyoro was the chair of the Budget and Appropriation Committee, he never spoke about all this thing that is now talking about the ballooning of loans. Now he's talking and he reads mischief. I don't know, you will judge for yourself. He thinks that now Ndindi Nyoro feels bad because they are taking development to Nyanza. I don't know. But my point here is, Junet Mohammed is saying that Uhuru Kenyatta should not pretend that he's not afraid of the youth, because he's saying there was a time when they escorted Raila from the airport all the way to the CBD. And Junet is saying people were killed. Those were his words. After people were killed, Uhuru Kenyatta was scared that he had to go for the handshake. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to that. People were killed. And that was to give the ODM strength for Uhuru to realize that he cannot rule without Raila Muludinga, because Raila has the people. And they get, that is Junet Mohammed saying, and they got to the government as a result of the people who were killed. You connect that to what is happening. They got to this government after Gen Zs were killed. They got to this government after they went to the streets and ODM supporters were killed. And Junet is revealing to us that after every election year, that is my interpretation, they always do what? They always mount a very strong protest. And people would go there, people would be killed, but the main reason is to get to the government. And let me just put a disclaimer. It is in the constitution, there is freedom of picketing. So as they exercise their constitutional mandate, the governments that be would always kill them and they get to the government. Yes, through the back door. But now the question is one. They always believe that their votes have been rigged in all those elections from 2007. And so when they get to the government, through whichever means, well, they feel it is their right, they are taxpayers, and so they have a right to get to the government. My only problem with it is one. Now that Junet has admitted that even in the Uhuru one, they got there because youths were killed, people were killed. Do they talk about their deaths? Do they even seek for justice, even some little compensation? What is the fate of the youths who are killed during the ODM or Azimio protest? What is their fate? Are they talking about them? I'm talking about seriousness, not calling for a press conference and saying that we want the government to compensate and it ends there. Those are just, rhetorics. What is the fate of the youths who are butchered? Because not unless Junet Mohammed explains what he meant, it only means that they've been using these youths over and over again to gain political mileage, to get to the government. And it is very sad. I dare say, ladies and gentlemen, that moving forward, if any politician is going to call people to the street, then we need to be very careful. What is the motive behind it? At a time when everyone is telling William Ruto that things can be better, you are not running this government the best way. You can improve. Junet and the group are busy showering Ruto with praises. And this is wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, if you remember last year in June, William Ruto was so disciplined. Parliamentarians were so disciplined. William Ruto had stopped local and foreign travels. William Ruto had stopped the early campaigns. He was not on top of the vehicles. Ruto dissolved his cabinet. William Ruto gave us a call for a press conference and said, I will stop wastage and corruption and all this. But after that handshake, William Ruto went back to factory settings, gave us back some of the CSS that people felt were the epitome of the source of anger from the public. Now he's on top of vehicles to Metenga. If you read the report from the Controller of Budget and the Auditor General's report, it's full of exposing wastages and corruption, all because ODM got into that government. I would be very happy and I would forgive ODM if they had gone to be part of the government and things are now straight, wamenyosha vizuri. I would be very happy if after getting into this government, the government stopped killing or abducting our youths. I would be happy to hear that the report of the government has changed, that now the Controller of Budget and the Auditor General is giving us a report that things have improved, wastages have been reduced, there is no corruption has been reduced. I would be very happy. I would be very happy to see a united nation, united without pushing others to the periphery. But when corruption is still the end of the day, wastage and killings, then it only means that they went there to perpetuate the rot that was already existing there. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, but now William Ruto is in Nyanza and they have confirmed to him that they are in this broad-based government to stay. They are bashing Orengo if you listen to most of the speeches, and they are, in fact, instead of concentrating then on the development, that took Ruto there, it only shows it is political. Because why? What does Rigathi Gachagua and the group got to do with the tour? If they are in government, let them stay put. And he's rubbishing that group, but he needs to be wary of the danger ahead because Kenyans are tired. Let him not look at that group of Martha Karua, Eugene Wamalwa, Muisa Kitui, Kalonzo Musyoka, Rigathi Gachagua, Matiang'i was there. Let him not rubbish that group. Let him see the electorate behind them, because that group is ready to take Ruto down as long as they stay together. I can assure you that if that group stays together till 2027, William Ruto is gone, because the ODM has lost touch with the people. They joined the oppressors. I don't know what you think about Junet's sentiments, but to me, I don't know whether it was intentional or it was subconscious in making those statements. When you tell us that Uhuru got scared after the ODM youths were killed, and so he came for a handshake. You see, when he comes, already Junet confirms that he is already scared. So he comes, he has already called the tail and is telling you, tafadhali kujeni tufanye kazi, hatuwezi fanya bila nyinyi kwa sababu mko na watu. One thing that Junet is not telling us is, who was the deputy president then? We've always known how deputy presidents work. And if there is one person who did not want that handshake, it was William Samoei Ruto. The same way Rigathi Gachagua did not and does not welcome the handshake between the ODM and Ruto now. It was the same thing. So he's kind of trying to blame Uhuru Kenyatta. Of course, he's the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces, but we know how William Ruto detested any imagination that Raila would shake hands with William Samoei Ruto. And so William Ruto went there. He was looking for a person to be praised. He is there. William Ruto wanted to cool the tempers. There's been a lot of discord in ODM, but they have confirmed to the people that they are still together. I wonder why they were making noise about Omondowere's death. It was a mere fallacy because no one confronted William Ruto. It was praise and worship. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me your interpretation of Junet Mohammed's speech.